Hello, my friends. It's me, Karen Valentine, and I am back to do the Faber Castell Gelatos video that I promised you last time. So I have kind of a lot to show you, so hopefully I'm not too random about all of this. Okay, so the Faber Castell Gelatos are a new product for me. These are the ones that I have collected so far, and they are, this is 3 sets. So these colors are the gift set 2, the translucent set, and the iridescent set. And I know that there's still a couple of several more sets out there to get, but you know, I can only spend so much money at one time. I bought my first set, fell in love, bought 2 more sets. So these are the colors, and there is, I will have a link in the video underneath to take you to the seller that I bought mine from. And at the time, they were the cheapest that I could find online. Cheaper than going through directly through Faber Castell. So yay, I think you'll find some fairly good prices on Amazon through that link. So that's that. This was the first swatch chart that I did with the first set that I got. And after I got my other 2 sets, I swatched them all out again using a different method. And so this one was kind of extra, so it gave me the chance to kind of play around with what some of the Prismacolors look like layered on top of the gelatos. And they layer on top of the gelatos beautifully. So I'm going to do a couple of different things. I think I'm going to try and do one where we're just using the gelatos, and one where I'm going to use Prismacolors on top. So let's go ahead and use this as our first example. As you can see, I kind of already started to play a little bit, but we'll pick a different spot. I'll come up here and see what I can show you. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So for this background, and that is the background that I'm going to do on this page here, we're going to use the Gelatos Aqua Dolce, and this is in the pastel line, which came in the gift set 2 that I purchased first. And the cool thing about that gift set 2 is that it gave me a variety of pastels. So it, or not pastels, of the gelatos. So it gave me some pastels. It gave me some iridescence. It kind of let me try out and see what different ones, how different ones worked. And so that was kind of nice. All right, so the color that I'm going to use, as I said, is the Aqua Dolce. And I'm trying to do this so you can really see and also see everything in screen. So here's my little pad of thing. And again, like I did in the last video, I'm using these stencil brushes. And they are the short bristled kind, as opposed to the ones that come a little bit longer. Let's see if I have any of those. This is a really big one, so not a good example, but sometimes these brushes come with really long bristles, but these are nice and short, and so they stay nice and stiff, which is what I like. So I think I'll go ahead and turn her to make it easier for me. So I just put some of the gelatos onto the brush, and then you just use a swirly motion to apply them, and they blend as you go, which is really nice. And you don't have to worry about getting super close to the picture, because we're going to use Prismacolors to fill in that gap. But you can, I mean, the nice thing about these short, stiff brushes is that you can get pretty darn close to the edge. So you have some nice control. But what I like about these is that a lot of you struggle with backgrounds, and you struggle with making a faded out background so that your color just fades almost to nothing. And with these, the beauty of these is that it makes it so easy. So as you're applying this color, you can see that it just blends out. So you get this super soft edge on your background. Nothing is harsh. And I just love that so much. So that's what the Aqua Dolce looks like. Now, when I do this one, I am planning on using the Prismas. So I think we'll go ahead and give this background a try and see what happens and what results we can get by using just the gelatos. And I actually have an even smaller brush. I actually have this one too. So if I was wanting to get really up close and tight, I can use this really small one too. But you can see, because of the stiff bristle, you really have some pretty darn good control as far as applying this. And these do erase, not necessarily completely, but if you were to get some in an area that you didn't want, you could probably erase it pretty successfully. So see how just soft and blended out that background is? It's just a beautiful thing. Okay, so now I'm going to apply some olive, and this is from the translucent kit. And do I want to use a big, I think I'm going to still use a big brush. So, and in this case, I'm not bothering to clean my brush in between because we want it to be all blended anyway. So, nice. Okay, so that actually, maybe I should have used my smaller brush because that added a little bit more than I had intended. So I'm just curious to see what happens if I put some more of the Aqua Dolce on here, because you can build up color. And I probably should have cleaned my brush a little bit. But I like what it's doing so far. It's pretty good. So that you don't have to keep getting up and rinsing off your brush, although I suppose you could keep a cup of water next to you and a paper towel. That might be a better plan. But I've been using like these little baby wipes. But I think, now that I say it, cup of water and a paper towel or something to dry your brush off with might be better. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here. So I think I just put down a little bit more green than I would have wanted. So I'm going to extend this blue out so that you can see more of the blue, because I kind of covered it up too much. Okay, so that is the effect that we get by using just the gelatos. And if I wanted to, I could take that peppercorn that I used from before, from the last video. I'm going to use my little brush and just see what happens. So I'm kind of experimenting like with you guys, because I already know that I want to use my Prismas, but I wanted to do one where I could see what would happen if I used just gelatos. And I'm not thrilled with it, but look, when they're still kind of wet, you can just come in with your finger and just blend it out, and it just blends. It blends really nice. Okay, so that is what you can do with your just the gelatos. You can blend them and layer them, but these brushes are just like perfect and awesome for what you want to do. And I also, just to test, because I know some of you don't like to use smooth paper, some of you use a rougher paper. So this is actually colored pencil paper, which has that tooth to it that some of you really like. And so I tried it on this paper, and it blends out just as beautifully as this smooth paper did. So you could also use this on toothier papers. So my guess is these would probably work on almost any paper. They might not show up as well on like a toned tan paper, but I think on any white paper, these would be awesome. They're also, as I said before, water soluble. But for me, I have my Neo colors. If I want like a watercolor, water soluble background. What I wanted was a smooth, creamy product that I could do exactly this with, so I could get that soft blended background. So let's do this one. This is Rowana by Mariola Budek, and I knew that I wanted to do this color combo for the background. So when I picked my colors for her, I intentionally picked colors that I knew would look pretty, or hope will look pretty with this color combination. So this bird is actually a blue-gray tanager. He's a real bird. And so I was very excited to find him online, and these are rowan berries, and those come in red or white, and so I chose to do the white rowan berries and kind of give it an early fall look. So that is where we're at. And I probably want my small brush as well. Okay, away we go. So if you're wondering, if you're looking at this image and going, something looks different about it, I actually, before I colored it, drew out her shoulder and added that to the image. So that's why it looks different than maybe what you're used to seeing. So I'm not going to worry about getting in too super close because I am going to use a Prismacolor to fill in that space. Now I've had this picture for quite a long time, unfinished. This has been one of my works in progress that never got worked on, and so she's probably a little bit messier with a little bit more funky dots and stuff on her, just because she's been sitting for so long waiting to be finished. I don't normally keep works in progress for very long. I kind of like to get stuff finished, but for some reason I always had something else to work on instead. So I was happy when she came in handy, perfect for this project. So I hope you guys can see what I'm doing here. I can't really go sideways. I kind of need to go from directly straight above. So I think you can probably figure out, you know, what it is that I'm doing. It's just a swirly motion. I'm swirling just like this. But truly, until I found these brushes, excuse me, until I found these brushes, I was not, I didn't love the gelatos as much. I tried using Q-tips, and I tried using my fingers, and nothing really gave me the look that I was after. Fingertips do work, but you don't have as much control, and you don't get, I don't know, you don't get this super duper soft look. At least I didn't. And the Q-tips for the same thing, you know, they worked okay, but they weren't fantastic. And then I tried these brushes, and it was like I had a angels started singing kind of moment. And that's when I went out and bought the rest of the colors that I wanted. Now, I know that the Faber Castell website sells these open stock. I've not found them available at an acceptable price on Amazon. I saw a few, but honestly, it looked like they were asking like $10 a piece for them, which is just crazy. So I haven't gone on to Faber Castell and figured out what the cost per is once you pay for shipping and stuff. I mean, if you buy a gazillion, I think shipping is free. With like $50 purchase. So if you're buying other stuff, I suppose that would be worth it. I think I'm going to switch to my small brush. So, you know, being able to buy them open stock is nice, especially if you have certain colors that you use a ton of. All right, back to the big brush. And I was bummed because my art supply stores don't carry them. And they carry everything. But maybe, I don't know, maybe these are considered a craft supply as opposed to an art supply, even though they're, you know, Faber Castell. I don't know. But that's super pretty just as it is before we even add anything else. And I don't know if you can. Yeah, you can probably see it. I'm so in love with these. You just, oh my goodness, you have no idea. So in love. And if you're using light colors, you know, you can kind of still go over your pencil and it doesn't really change anything about what you've done. That's so pretty just as it is. I don't even know if I want to mess with it. No, I will, because you know me, I can't just do one layer of something and leave it alone. I got to do multiples. So, all right. So I'm going to let this dry for about probably 15 minutes to be on the safe side. It's not like it's wet, but because we're going to add colored pencil on top, I want the product to be nice and dry. You know, because you could tell it's kind of moist because it goes on so creamy. And you can feel it. So when you get to the point where you can't really feel the moisture of it, so to speak, anymore, then you should be good to go and you can start adding your color pencil on top, which is what I'm going to do. Although adding that green with just the, boy, that's tempting because that will take a lot less time. That will take a lot less time. Now I'm debating. What do I want to do? Just, you know, just to see what happens, because I don't think I can mess it up by doing a small area. I'm going to try this olive. And let's do it like right here. I can even zoom in a little bit. Right here. So we want to apply it not very far out, because what I did before was I did it and it was too much. So I'm gonna do it right here. I'm gonna let it dry. And then I'm gonna do it with my colored pencils right next to it, and that will allow me to see the difference. I think that's what we'll do, but it's just so pretty. It's so pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna let it dry and I will be back shortly. Okay, I am back. I think we're pretty dry. And it just occurred to me of why I was choosing to do my pencils and not the just the olive green color in this case, because I'm actually going to use a couple of different colors of pencil. So I'm going to use Jade Green, and that's going to be what goes right up against her, right up against the image to fill in that area, but it's also a little bit darker, so it's going to kind of help with the gradient look of what I'm doing. So I'm going to just go ahead and start to do that. I have found quite a few coordinating, I guess I'll say. I won't say necessarily matching because they don't necessarily match exactly, but coordinating colors in the color pencils that will make doing this very, very easy and allow you to add some more color or deepen your color right up against the image. Now, I am not one who does my backgrounds first. I pick my background according to what the image turns out to look like. So where was I going with that? I have no idea. So that's working after the picture has already been colored. When you're not using it wet is really, really easy. And seriously, I just completely lost my train of thought. Ay. Anyway, so here we are. So you can see how the pencil just goes on very smoothly and blends in with the gelatos really nice. All kinds of little areas where I keep seeing little marks, and I don't remember making those. I don't remember making those marks. It's like, where did that one come from? I have no idea. No idea. Hopefully I can just hide it under more colored pencil. So we kind of faded it out down here, so I'm not going to go too much further. I'm going to kind of keep the color up. But it actually feels like the pencil even glides over the top of these gelatos and blends even more nicely than if it was straight onto the paper. And you can use a firmer pressure as you're close to your image, and then just, you know, work your way to a lighter pressure as you're getting out there, and it just blends without any effort at all. I'm so happy with these. I haven't been this excited about a product in a long time. I mean, I think that this technique, for those of you who don't like to do backgrounds, is just going to open up a whole new world for you and in your coloring and how you can create now, because this stuff is like, no, you can't mess it up. And if all you wanted to do was add one color and call it good, you could do that and it would look beautiful. Or can keep adding layers of the gelatos, or you can add colored pencil. And as you saw in the last video, it goes over colored pencil as well as under the colored pencil. So it's really versatile stuff. Also, because it is water soluble, if you find that you have put too much on in an area, or it's for whatever reason it's just being difficult and it's not blending, you can just dampen your fingers, like have a wet sponge maybe by your table and just tap your finger on the wet sponge and then use your finger to blend, and it will blend out that way as well. I'll move this out of the way here. Okay. And I've also found that my Caran d'Ache colorless blender really blends the pencil nicely on top of the gelatos as well. So I haven't found anything about these that I don't like yet, to be honest. I just can't get over how pretty and easy this stuff is to work on top of, and the results that I'm getting. I'm a little bit giddy about it, I have to admit. It's just, oh, it's so pretty. Okay, let's switch to marine green. Now this is the area that I added the olive green gelatos on top of. And I'm just going to add some of this marine green here too. It's a little bit more vibrant, I guess, when you add the colored pencils, as opposed to this is gelato over gelato, and there's your colored pencil. So it's a little bit more concentrated color. So depending on the look that you're going for, you have options. And as I said, it blends very nicely on top of the gelatos. So my gosh, this is going to turn out to be like one of my favorite color combos for backgrounds. I can just see it now. I'm going to probably use this more than once. You can get, I mean, this is really super light. You can get really vibrant backgrounds with these as well. I'll show you one of the test pages that I did. It's definitely not perfect. I was still kind of learning what I was doing, but ooh, hello. But this page, I actually did the entire background with gelatos and colored pencils. So I laid down a color, and I don't remember which color I used. Maybe passion fruit. Might have used that color as my base. And then I laid other colored pencils on top of it, yellows and purples, and so you can still get a super vibrant background as well as a soft and delicate background. It just depends on what colors you lay down first and lay on top. And it just feels like, I mean, if I was laying this colored pencil down on top of just the white paper, it would not look nearly as pretty as it does right now. It's like I don't know, it's like the gelatos just, they're magic. I don't know. Oh, I really like the addition of the green. Zoom back in again. There you go. I think I want to be, I was thinking that I was going to do the green all the way around, but I'm kind of liking it in more, I don't know about if random is the word, but not covering every bit of the area around the image. And then if we want to, if I feel like it's not blue enough still, we can always go back in and add another layer of blue. Also use white on top to blend. This is so silly. I'm giddy. All right, this looks like it's gonna need a little, like maybe I didn't have a lot of the color down. So I'm just going to use my white pencil to blend that. As you can see, there's less of the gelatos down here. I went a little bit lower. With this, I went a little bit heavier. I'm just going to blend that a little bit with my white. Okay, so then the last question is, because it's really pretty just as it is, but I'm not able to just leave things as is, it seems like. I want to see what it looks like by adding just a little bit more. And I could use Espresso, but I think I'm going to try Beaster from Polychromos. If you don't have Polychromos, Light Umber probably would be the choice. And I just want to see that tiny little bit of extra dark. And it's almost, this Beaster kind of almost greens things up. So because we've already got green in here, I'm not sure if it's going to do anything or not. Not sure what it'll do. I might wind up pulling out the espresso after all. The espresso will be for you, Annie. Yeah, this Beaster kind of just ticks on a green. Kind of just makes it a darker, more olivey green, which is not bad. All right, I'm breaking it out. We're doing it. I'm gonna start though somewhere not, I think we'll do it in here so that if I don't like it, it won't be a disaster. Now with this one, I am using a very light touch because it's such a dark color and it does show up a lot more. So I want to make sure I'm not getting it too dark. Sharpen. It's like part of me really likes it and part of me thinks it's not necessary. I do like it though. It kind of, for lack of a better word, dirties it up a little bit. Am I in frame? No, of course I'm not. Yeah, I do like it. I gotta be really careful because I don't have a lot of the gelatos up in here. And I want this to be really subtle. I don't want it to be, I don't want brush, you know, circle strokes and all that to show up, so. Prisma blender would probably work just as well in there. And I don't know why I feel the need to blend as I'm going, but it helps make me see that I'm liking what I'm doing, I guess. I don't think I want to do it down here. I think that would detract from her face and make her face look dirty maybe or something, I don't know. Love it. I think that's it. I think I'm done. I don't think I'm going to add any down here, just in those areas. And I hope it shows up well on camera. It'll show up well when I take the photograph and show it at the end. It usually does. But this is almost one of my favorite picks I've done so far, which is not what I would have expected, but I'm just really, really loving the way it looks. I can see here I need to add some darker shading underneath the berries, but other than that, that background, that is a whole new ball game, my friends. So I hope you learned something. I can see a whole lot of people going out and spending some more money on some more art supplies. I know every time I see something new, I feel like I have to have it. But these are awesome. I'm so pleased. Thank you so much for letting me show you my new find. And show off your new projects. Show them off. If you follow me on Instagram, tag me at Instagram. It's there's a link for it in the description box below for my Instagram. But give me a little tag and show me what you've done with your new gelatos. I would love to see what you guys are doing. And by all means, if you come up with a new cool technique, share that too. Because we're all in this together. We're all in our coloring enabling thing together. So blah blah blah. I'm having a hard time articulating very well today. So I will sign off now. You guys take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.